Hey guys, it's Shelbi, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and thank you so much for being here with me today because today we're going to talk about zero waste gift wrapping hacks. This time of year there is a ton of plastic, which is obviously not our favorite thing if we are trying to reduce our waste. From the plastic wrap paper, from the plastic bows, to the plastic tape, to the plastic glitter. Ooh. But today I wanted to share some alternatives with you that are either recyclable, compostable, or reusable. I'm going to be sharing a few different tips with you and then showing you how I'm wrapping a few different Christmas gifts this year so you can get some inspiration as well. But very quickly before we get into the tips, I wanted to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Who Gives a Crap, which is the toilet paper that I have been using for years. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I bought their products with my own money long before we ever had a sponsorship, and I love them so much. They are a toilet paper company that is plastic free. They wrap their rolls in paper, and that paper is what I personally have been saving for the last few months so that I can wrap my Christmas gifts with it. I already told you that their toilet paper is wrapped plastic free, but it is always made from post-consumer paper, or you can spring for their luxury line, which is made from bamboo, but always tree free. So I'll be talking about them a little bit more throughout the video, but I did want to let you guys know up front that they are offering you guys $10 off of your box of toilet paper. If you want to pick yours up, they are wrapped in adorable wrapping paper, but they're also a wonderful company for the environment. You can use the link at the top of the description or type in Shelbi to get $10 off of your order. It's an awesome deal. I only have to order toilet paper, you guys, twice a year. 2 boxes a year, that's it. So if you want to check it out, link, like I said, is in the description. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the 4 tips before we get into how I'll be wrapping my presents this year. Tip number 1 is to reuse. So look around your house and see what you already have that you can be using to wrap your presents. I already told you guys that I use the paper wrapped around my toilet paper. I save it up for a couple months so that I have enough to use on my gift wrapping. But before that, I used to use newspapers. So that's also an option for you, just to look around your home and see what you already have. Other things you can do is use those little cardboard rolls in the middle of your toilet paper roll to wrap smaller gifts. You can put like jewelry in there or gift cards and things like that. I've also seen people use like Pringle tubes to wrap other sorts of presents in. You can use mailers that you've gotten, you can use boxes that you've received in the mail. Whatever you do, try to reuse first before you go out and buy anything new. So tip number 1 is to reuse, but tip number 2 is to use something reusable. So you can head to the thrift store and get a scarf. That's a great thing you can do, wrap presents in scarves. You can buy a scarf at the thrift store for usually like $1 or $2, and then the person that you're giving a gift to gets the added bonus of being able to use their wrapping paper as something else. Or you can take it back and always reuse it the next year. Obviously, traditional gift bags are reusable, but I would definitely encourage you to choose one that doesn't have plastic on it, of course. Tip number 3 is to spice up your gift decor with something natural and biodegradable. A lot of bows, like I said, are made from plastic. People put glitter on presents, which is not biodegradable. It's horrible for this planet. Definitely steer away from those things. If you're anything like me, you can literally go out into nature just a few steps outside your door and find things to use. For instance, on our property, we have a rosemary bush, so you can use that. We have a pine tree, so you can use pine needles or pine cones. We also are lucky enough to have a little holly bush in our front yard, so you can use sprigs of that to spice up your gift wrapping instead of using something that will last on this planet to conceal your gift for a few minutes before it gets thrown away. Definitely think about how you can be more friendly to our earth and decorate your presents with natural materials. Another thing I like to do is dried citrus. It's also a pretty one. And tip number 4 is not to take this too seriously. Like I said, the purpose of gift wrap is to have that element of surprise so that you can conceal the gift for the minute or 2 that you're handing it over until they open it up and they're surprised. Everybody loves the surprise element when they're giving gifts, me included, but I definitely don't think that we need to be wrapping those things to be concealed for a few minutes in things that would be left on this planet forever. So don't get too caught up in the aesthetics of Christmas and the aesthetics of making things look cute, because it's just not really necessary, to be completely honest with you. So those are all the basic tips I wanted to share with you guys. Now let's get into some hacks, some more creative ways to decorate and wrap your presents.
The first thing that I wanted to show you is that you can actually wrap presents without any tape. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get the right size paper. So measure all 4 sides of your box and then leave a couple inches on the other side so that we get the right size. After you've measured your paper, you're going to want to turn it into a square. So cut off any of the excess that you have after folding it into a perfect triangle, and then we'll have our perfect square. Now place your box into the middle of the wrapping paper, but not like you normally would. You're going to do it diagonal, like at a diamond, like you can see me doing here. Then I measured to make sure that each side is going to cover the box, and then I start the wrapping. So I'm taking in both sides of the diamond. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you're seeing, it's more easy to, I think, to learn from the visual. So fold in both sides as you see me doing here. It's not going to look perfect underneath the paper, but over the top it'll look relatively nice. And then you'll wrap up your last little bit, which is the hardest one to do because you've got to bring in both sides at once. But once you bring it over, you'll be able to wrap that last little bit at the top you see there underneath the paper that you wrapped before. So you don't need any tape to conceal it. It just does just like that. And that little extra bit was my mistake. You might not end up with that, but if you do, just cut it off. So once you've got the wrapping down, you can go ahead and accessorize your gifts, and I wanted to use natural materials to do this. So I used pine needles and some jute twine, which is a natural material, so it is compostable. I just wrapped the ends of my pine needles to keep them all together with the twine and then attached it to my box. I chose contrasting colors, so I used the pink Who Gives a Crap wrapping paper with the green pine needles, and I think it looked amazing. Another way to decorate with twine is to make your own pom-poms. Now this might seem a little frivolous, but you can choose either one of these types of twine and they're both biodegradable. The brown one is made from jute, like I said, but this red and white one is made from cotton. So they can be composted, and of course you can reconfiscate them to use them again the next year. So you're just going to make a pom-pom by wrapping the twine around your hand as many times as you can. The more times the better. And then you tie those loops with a piece of the thread in the middle, as you see me doing here. That's what it'll look like. And then you're going to want to cut those loops on both ends. That's how you make your own pom-pom. It's really cool, and I really like doing this. So you can cut it down to make it a little bit more frayed, to make them shorter and fatter, and you end up with a pom-pom. But my second one looked a lot better, so that one looks better, you know. But I attached two of them to my present. I, of course, used contrasting colors here again, and I think it turned out super cute. Another way to utilize Who Gives a Crap and the materials that you'll have left over after using your toilet paper is to turn them into little ornaments like this. So you don't have to use these for gift wrapping. You could also use them for your trees, for garland, for whatever. But you're going to smash down your toilet paper roll so that it's oblong, kind of like an oval. I don't really know what you call that shape. But after you've squished it down, you're going to cut it into little shapes like so, and then put it into other little shapes. Combine them. You can do as many of these or as little as you want. You can make one with 4 petals or one with 12 petals. It doesn't matter. I used 6 here because I thought that looked best, and then I just attached it to the present. It's very simple, but I think it adds a very great touch. Last little quick tips I wanted to give is that you can use scrap paper to put in your boxes. So I didn't want to find the perfect size box to fit my gifts in, so instead I just stuffed the rest of that box with my little scraps so that things don't move around too much. And I also wanted to mention, don't use tape to close up your boxes, just close them up like this. It's a lot more eco-friendly. You can avoid that plastic.
Alrighty guys, I hope you really loved this video. I really had a lot of fun making it. Again, thank you so much to Who Gives a Crap for sponsoring this video. Their toilet paper is awesome. If you've been wondering about them, I can attest to it. I've been using it for years and I love it. Like I said, they are giving you guys $10 off, so click the link or use code Shelbi at checkout to get your $10 off of your order. Also, if you recreate any of these or if you have some other ideas, leave them in the comments and let me know. And also be tagging me on Instagram with your sustainably wrapped gifts and you may be my shout out in my next video. I don't have one right now, but I definitely will keep track of who's tagging me in their sustainable Christmas swaps, and you can be my next shout out. Also, can we talk about the miniature light touch of festivity behind me? That's kind of the only decor I have. I'm not a festive person, but I tried to get a little bit more festive for this video. Can you tell by my green and red sweater and my sustainable hat I recently bought from a great ethical company. I can't find any links to them online, so I can't link you to it, but I bought it at Whole Foods if that helps. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I am wishing you a happy and sustainable holiday, and remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye guys.